Nathan asked, in a field of fireflies, with Lindy watching. And the show cut to black. No answer. Just the question hanging in the air like the fireflies themselves. That was how season 19 ended, and every single Heartland fan has been sitting with that unanswered question since the finale aired. Will Amy say yes? Today, that question gets closer to an answer, because CBC just released the official season 20 preview, titled Legacy Faces Its Next Chapter, and the tagline is 3 words that this show has been building toward for years. Change is unavoidable. Not change is coming. Not change is possible. Change is unavoidable. That is not a gentle preview tagline. That is a promise. And today, June 12th, 2026, we are breaking down every second of this preview. The Amy scene that has the entire fandom completely divided. The Lindy moment that made me genuinely emotional. The Jack scene in the barn that nobody is talking about enough. The one line in this preview that tells you exactly where season 20 is headed. And the exclusive detail about Amber Marshall herself, the woman who has carried this show for 19 seasons. That reframes everything she said this year about hoping Heartland runs for another decade. Let's go. First, the milestone. Because you need to understand what season 20 actually represents. Heartland premiered on CBC on October 7th, 2007, 19 years ago. It has been running continuously, through strikes, through cast changes, through the loss of characters that broke the fandom's heart, for 19 years. It is Canada's longest-running one-hour scripted drama series. It has fans in more than 120 countries. It has been on CBC, CBC Gem, Up Faith and Family, and Netflix. And now it is in season 20. 20 seasons, a number that almost no drama in television history achieves. Amber Marshall told local Alberta media earlier this year, "I honestly hope that we can continue making this series for another decade or more." A decade more, from a woman who has played Amy Fleming since 2007, who has watched this character grow from a teenager with a gift for horses into a widow, into a mother, into a woman standing in a field of fireflies with a marriage proposal in front of her. A decade more. That is not the language of someone preparing a farewell. That is the language of someone who genuinely believes this story has more chapters left. And season 20, which began filming May 12, 2026, in Calgary, Alberta, is the chapter where that story starts earning what comes next. Now let's talk about the preview itself. Because the CBC official trailer dropped April 19th, 2026, titled Legacy Faces Its Next Chapter. The full description reads, "Change is unavoidable. In Heartland Season 20, the Bartlett-Fleming family enters a new phase as challenges begin to reshape the ranch. What begins as a push will become a turning point for every member of the family. Every member, not some, not the main characters. Every member. That is the show telling you, directly, that season 20 is not going to let anyone stand in the background. Every person in this family is going to be tested. Every person is going to face a turning point. And the phrase, what begins as a push, is doing enormous work. A push toward what? The preview answers that question in the first 30 seconds, and the answer is different for every character. Let's talk about Amy, because the preview opens on her. Of course it does. Amber Marshall as Amy Fleming has been the emotional spine of this show since episode 1. And the first shot of Amy in the season 20 preview is not at Heartland Ranch. She is somewhere unfamiliar, different landscape, different light. working with a horse that the audience does not recognize. And she looks focused, purposeful, but also like someone who is building something from scratch, in a place that is not home. And that image connects directly to the season 19 finale. Nathan's proposal came with a condition. He is selling his ranch. He bought a property on Salt Spring Island. He wants Amy to build something new with him, away from Heartland, away from the ground where Ty's memory lives, in every fence post and every stable door. The unfamiliar landscape in the season 20 preview is not a training trip. It is Amy Fleming testing what it feels like to heel horses somewhere that is not her mother's ranch. And the expression on her face while she does it is the most complex thing Amber Marshall has delivered in a preview clip in years. Because you cannot tell if she is discovering something she wants, or discovering something that makes her realize what she would be leaving behind. That ambiguity, that specific, honest, unresolved ambiguity, is what makes this preview perfect. Now let's talk about Nathan, because the preview gives us something that most coverage of this trailer completely missed. Nathan is shown twice in the preview. The first appearance is with Amy. They are not arguing. They are not in conflict. They are in a quiet moment together, and the body language between them is not the easy, natural warmth of two people who have resolved something. It is the careful, considered closeness of two people who are choosing each other, deliberately, consciously, in a way that requires ongoing effort. This is not a fairy tale romance. This is two adults, both carrying significant histories, both responsible for more than just themselves, deciding every day to try. And Nathan's second appearance in the preview is even more telling. He is with Lindy, not in a family portrait kind of way, not performing the role of new stepfather. He is just there, present, doing something ordinary alongside her. And Lindy, who is 7 years old, who lost her father before she ever really knew him, is not stiff or uncertain around him. She is just going about her day, with Nathan nearby. And that image, more than any dramatic scene, more than any conversation between Amy and Nathan about the future, tells you that the answer to the proposal is yes. Amy Fleming does not introduce a man into her daughter's daily life unless she has already decided. She is too careful, too protective, too aware of what Lindy has already lost. If Nathan is in Lindy's world like that, Amy already said yes. Let's talk about Lindy, because this preview gives her something she has never had before in a Heartland trailer. Her own moment. Not as Amy's daughter in the background of someone else's scene. Her own moment. The preview shows Lindy, played by twins Ruby and Emanuela Spencer, riding confidently around the ranch, not being led, not being supervised by an adult hand on the reins, riding on her own, with a purpose and a comfort with the animal that is unmistakably her mother's daughter. And one source close to the production confirmed what the preview appears to show. Lindy's passion and curiosity are going to play a major role this season. The show is not treating her as a supporting character in season 20. She is stepping into something. Her own relationship with horses, her own identity on the ranch, and watching a little girl in Alberta learning to carry the same gift that her mother carried. The gift that Marion passed to Amy, that Amy has spent 19 seasons living inside, begin to emerge in the third generation. That is the continuity that makes Heartland unlike any other show on television. It is not a story about a family. It is a story about what gets passed down. And season 20 is where we watch the passing happen in real time. Now, let's talk about Georgie, because the preview confirms what the season 19 finale set up. Georgie went to Austria. She took the offer from the European stable, and in the season 20 preview, the footage of Georgie is brief. But it is enough. Different country, different competition world. European equipment and European arenas, and a Amy Fleming who looks like she has been competing at this level her entire life, and completely alone in it. That combination, the triumph and the isolation of it, is Heartland's favorite emotional register. You go somewhere extraordinary. You find something extraordinary, and you discover that the extraordinary thing you found somewhere else was also waiting for you back home. Heartland has told this story before, with Amy going to Europe, with Lou going to New York, with Georgie going to competitions across North America. But Austria is different. Austria is not a trip. Austria is a life. And the preview is showing us a Georgie who is living that life fully and carrying something in her eyes that looks like the specific kind of loneliness you only feel when you are doing exactly what